We're live. Hey everyone, how's it going?
Oh, we're actually. Oh, yeah. Now I see how it works. Whoa! Look at all the. Oh, look. There's my comment. That's funny. How do you know the intro, guys? Did the intro play? Did it
Probably
even work?
not. Hold on. All right, here we're gonna go to the intro. Ready?
Just play the intro.
All right, there we go.
Things happened. Kenny, no intro. You didn't see the intro? I could hear it.
No, I think it's lagging.
Oh, that's right. Every time we watch something, it always says, people are always like,
Yep.
yeah. Kenny, we weren't late. We're actually like 20 minutes early trying to figure out how to actually take this thing and make it live on YouTube.
Yeah, you hit the big go
Straight
live
up.
button in the corner.
Yeah, we couldn't figure it out. I don't know. YouTube doesn't pay us yet, so we don't need to be good at it. And when YouTube does decide to pay us, all that money's going to go to like what do you call it? Like US Arc or Venom Life or something
Yep.
like
When
important.
Super Chat kicks in, 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we need 1,000 subscribers, and we'll do a sweet giveaway. I don't know what we're going to do yet.
Yes.
Did we figure that out, or are we just winging the giveaway still? Because we don't know.
I don't know what we're doing yet. We haven't figured it out. No animals, guys. We're thinking like swag packs.
Yeah, swag pack would be sweet. Maybe I'll like take a picture of myself and autograph it.
There you go. It'll be worth money someday.
That would be the only autographed thing that I've ever autographed in the snake world.
There you go.
Parts of women that they've asked me to autograph before. Interstellar, well, nah.
For the giveaway. No Monarch for the giveaway.
No way, man. I mean, I might give you like a pair of hats. A sticker of a Monarch?
A sticker of a Monarch, yep, for sure.
Yeah, but it would be a normal, because I wouldn't even do that. I'd give away a hat. Here's a sticker that's het for Monarch. That's all you get, dude. That's all you get.
That's all you get.
Yeah, and if you're real lucky, like if we hit like 2,500 real quick, we'll give away 2 stickers of 1.1 of double het DG Monarchs. Maybe.
Stickers. Yeah, right?
Yeah, stickers. That's what I'm saying. They'd look like 2 normals, but
awesome.
Or
we could give them stickers of what we think a DG Monarch is going to look like.
I don't even know if a sticker could be made like that yet. Because in my mind, I can't even think how clean that would be. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I'm ready for it, man. It's like 3 years from now, but you want an autograph pic? Well, Kenny, we have to hit 1,000 subs first, man.
Yep.
1,000 subs on YouTube.
There we go.
How many do we have? Like 10?
I don't know.
I don't know either, dude. It doesn't say.
Oh, 8. Man. It's up at the corner. We're blind.
Which corner?
Yeah.
I thought that's how many people are watching.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought that's what you meant. Hold on.
No. I meant like subscribers, dude. Hey, sorry, David. The only DG Marios Liz is producing is coming here. We're gonna be trading some DG Mario for some puzzle stuff.
There you go.
Sucks to suck, nerd.
16.
No way, dude. We're only like 984 away.
We're so close, guys. No, yep.
So close. So,
So this is pretty much just an introduction video to kind of work out all these kinks that we were just experiencing.
yeah, it'd be funny in a year when we
just
come back and look at this and be like, look how bad we sucked.
probably that's going to be exactly how it goes. Even though, guys, we've already done this like 3 or 4 times
Yeah,
to
but
work out
just
all these kinks, and it's still
yeah,
So
just in the private chat though, and then
mhm.
you go live and like nothing work. I literally got my equipment like to work 15 seconds prior to this.
Yep.
So
awesome stuff. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of talk about what this channel is for and what it's all gonna be about and why we decided to change to YouTube platform.
Yeah, because Zuckerberg's the worst. Demonetize us. You can't because we're not even monetized.
There we go.
Liz, you dropped your first. We're gonna plug you up. You dropped your first video like yesterday, right?
Yeah.
That's dope, dude. No alert, Baller's Garage. You gotta set that alert, man. This was shared all over the internet, dude. But I appreciate you coming in. Yeah, so guys, go check out Liz's video on her channel. We should put the link in description down below. Don't forget to share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for alerts when we upload. Hit the like button. Tell your friends.
It would help if I
Giveaway.
scheduled live more than like 10 minutes before the live was gonna happen. But yeah, you know,
All right.
we're working through it.
Yeah, I just had to get that out of the way real quick because everyone does it. So now it's the important part. Yeah, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel of my own too, and I already have my first video made. I just
know you
want to
do.
wait. Yeah, I just want to wait there's like one more thing I have to do, and it's a money aspect thing, guys. My first video I'm doing on hemp bedding. I tested like pH balance, the ammonia levels, the acidity between that, the pine pellets, pine flakes, pine pellet flakes combo, all with the same amount of rodents in the same rack, the same amount of rodents in each tub, and everything over the course of 1 week. But the one thing that I did not do, and I didn't realize it till after, was cost compare the hemp to the pine. So I'm gonna go out and just buy it and give it away to some local people here, but just so I could have the receipt for the cost comparison.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, I know you've been filming a lot. I have only filmed the one KRG video, so hopefully be filming tomorrow for my second one. I'm going to try to be as consistent weekly as I can, but I totally thought, I was like, nah, I'm going to be one of those raw video people where I just shoot it and don't really do a whole lot of editing, right? And then throw it out the door. I spent 6 hours editing that YouTube video.
Yeah, I spent a pretty long time doing mine as well. This light is really killing me. I don't know if I like it on or off or what.
Oh, I messed around with lighting for like an hour earlier and I still feel like I look like a ghost, but we're here and you can see me. So
I'm not pleased with mine. Let me crank that up just a little bit. Because look how bright. Oh, wait, this is the dark side. I think I'll just hold what I got right here.
You're good. You're good. I know, Kenny. Yeah. I appreciate the pushing to get videos out because I am not. Brandon and I have talked about this. I cannot go back and rewatch our lives. Like I just can't do it.
I don't.
I can't.
I don't. I hate the sound of my voice.
Even when I'm posting them, like on our story and the little 30-second snippet shows or whatever, I'm just like, oh God.
Dude, I want to punch myself in the mouth. Like I would not be friends with me purely because I think my own voice is annoying.
Yep.
100%.
I am the same way. So to go through and edit like my own YouTube videos as I'm talking, and it did to edit that video about a dozen times before it actually got edited and sent out.
Damn, that's dope, dude.
Yep.
Well, it takes time. Hey, what's up, DMJ? Hey, yo, Kenny, man, you're awesome. Like, you are
Yep.
always in our corner, and you're always pushing our shit out, dude. And no homo, love you for that. And then, speaking of other awesome dudes, my dude Alex, the critter catcher, got one of his company shirts, SoCal Snake Removal. If you guys don't,
Nice.
yeah, if you guys don't follow Alex, go follow him. You need to. That dude has
Yes.
some really, really, really not only great content, but extremely educational content. Um, or so you guys still going to do weekly topic kind of? Okay. So yeah, let's get to this. So
Get into it.
what's up, merging morphs? So what we're sort of gearing this channel towards is the reptile community, not
Yes.
the ball python community. I think no homo, Kenny. Yes. So I think ball pythons are the gateway drug of the reptile industry. Lots of people get hooked on ball pythons due to the phenotypic greatness and the morphs. There's no other species out there that have morphs like ball pythons. So ball pythons are like your gateway drug. People get
That
into
is
them.
as versatile, right? Like
Yes.
there's
Yeah.
something for everyone in ball pythons, whether you like no pattern or crazy pattern or bright colors or
Nice
no color
dark.
or anywhere in between. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But
for sure.
then people go into boas and then they go like, oh, now I got big snakes, but big snake keepers tend to breed other stuff. And then they're like, wow, look at these skinks. And then they're like, skinks are cool, but tegus get bigger. And then all of a sudden they're looking at black dragon monitors and it's like, dude, that's awesome. But a lot of people start at the ball pythons where God, I hate this, and you'll find this on every video I've ever done with everybody. I always talk shit on the ball python. So I'm a ball python guy, but ball python
Right.
people really don't know a lot about wildlife conservation, genetics, zookeeping. A lot of them don't know the difference between species, subspecies, morphs, and localities, right? Because morphs and localities aren't the same, and it's like, man, dude, it's that sucks. And so we want to bring at no cost to anybody for free that knowledge to you guys.
Yep.
Because I know,
So
like
not only
no
are
one
we
else is
doing
doing it.
ball pythons, but we're planning on doing every reptile, right? And everything in between. I mean, like you said, monitors, skinks, geckos, other snake
Turtles,
species. Yes. And
lizards.
then, we're planning on bringing on some zookeepers, some conservationists, people that work with HOTS, exotic veterinarians. I should say reputable exotic veterinarians. There are a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of exotic veterinarians that, or I should say, veterinarians that claim to be exotic veterinarians that don't necessarily have that not as
There,
much knowledge as they probably should. It's very generic, very basic knowledge. We also want to have some people on to discuss like bioactive people that want to just keep, yes, we all probably are mostly breeders here. There's some keepers, but we all have those small, also hobby animals, right? That we keep just because they're
I
fun,
do.
because we love reptiles. So, I keep my bearded dragons on bioactive. We want to bring in some experts on that. We've talked about trying to get Universal Rock on here to talk about their cage builds and things like
Oh
that.
yeah, dude.
So just
Like
all kinds of different informations. Frogs would be great, Kenny, if I could
yeah,
find someone on frogs. Maybe Josh's frogs would be the first person off the top of my head. With that being said, if you guys have a topic and know someone who's reputable that you want to have cover that topic,
reputable,
yes, reputable being the key.
reputable.
And trust me, we will look into everyone. Even if you tell me 100% this
Yeah,
guy's amazing or this gal's amazing, we will do our own research. But, if there's someone you guys want on, shoot us a message. Email us, shoot us a message on Instagram. We'd be more than happy to try to get them on.
Kenny,
I
man, we might as well. I mean,
There you go. I
we
do
might as
know
well.
that we are booked until at least May for
Yeah, we're
interviews
already booked up, guys.
and have people still trying to sign in. So, which is exciting. I'm glad that we are getting people lined up and won't have to be rushing things at last minute. But yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I want to, because what people don't realize, right? So here's a good one. So 2 days ago, now I'm not on. I mean, I'm on Facebook, guys, and you can friend me on Facebook, but chances are you'll never hear from me because I don't really use it. I've been trying to the past week be on Facebook more. So on Facebook, 2 or 3 days ago, two friends of mine from high school hit me up. One posted her turtle, and she was like, his name. She's had this thing for 15 years, right? His name's Franklin. Go figure. So then another friend of mine from high school tagged me in her post about her turtle. She says, Brandon Hernandez, I know you do snakes, but can you figure out what's wrong with this turtle? So this turtle's not shedding its scutes all the way all off of its shell, and it's in Pennsylvania, so it's really cold this time of year. The heater's not working well, and it's at 72, and it's a turtle and not a tortoise. There's a difference, right? Tortoises are made for just land. Turtles are semi-aquatic, depending on, again, subspecies. Like, this is the kind of info I want to bring to you guys. And I don't know shit about turtles. What I told you is basically what I know, right? I'm not sure, right? But I do have enough reptile medical experience to know that if a turtle is, one, having trouble shedding its scutes and the humidity is good, it's a vitamin deficiency. So you can get conditioner for that. And secondly, if it's, the other issue with the turtle was the heater wasn't working properly, so its heat was at 72 degrees. Anybody who's ever kept anything ectothermic knows that's a no-go, regardless of the species, right? Metabolic rate, you need to have, like, for ball pythons, I think its metabolic rate starts at between 86 and 88, and autoimmune response starts at 90, and that's why we typically keep our hotspots at 90. So that's the kind of knowledge that we're trying to bring to you guys, and that's stuff that I've learned volunteering around people with these MDs and PhDs. But I want them to come on and talk to you because I have a GED. So it's just, it's not the same. I want the expert. Like, I'm a little okay at everything, but we want to bring on the experts. I can't wait personally for the conservationists. That's my favorite thing, dude.
Yep.
That's my favorite.
And I want to bring, like, for me personally, I really want to work, in conservation. I've done some research, and we do a little bit around our area, local stuff, right? But it's hard to find information on how to jump into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it is.
So by bringing in the experts that are already doing it, they can answer your questions on how to get started, or, just where you can find different bits of information.
Yeah,
so
like
it's super exciting to make this what we call, right, not another ball python channel.
Yeah,
right. Not to say we're not going to have ball python people on, because we certainly are. That's the most of the people in the community that we know at this point, right? We know bits of odds and ends, but
yeah, we figured that out real quick. Yeah. We're like,
90% of the people we could think of, ball pythons. 10% other reptiles.
Yeah. I want to bring in some people on chameleons and lizards, turtles, tortoises. Even, and when we go into conservation, we're going to reach out, because conservationists are not reptile based. Like, there's a couple pages I follow on Instagram, literally too, about bats. Okay, I love bats. I would like a breeding pair of bats, a breeding pair of owls, and a breeding pair of falcons, right? And that would just be for conservation purposes, to breed and re-release. For no other reason do I want those animals. And I would pay my own dollar to do that. I don't need government funding or anything. So there are people out there, they're going to tell you, like, I'm sure there are going to be conservationists that come on that explain to you why having an outdoor cat as a pet is so bad for the environment.
Yep.
I don't even want to touch that because I'll go on for like an hour, dude.
Yep. And just like we've branched into olive pythons, which are actually endangered in Australia. So lots of conservation stuff here at work. Both Brandon and I are, I think, always going to have our ball pythons, but we are branching out into other species and things like that. And just kind of want to give everyone all the information that they could want and one place to find it, whether you're looking for information on ball pythons or boas or conservation or, just really any exotic animals for the most part, just to kind of, have the knowledge available to you. I'm sure we can still, we'll probably to do informational videos maybe once or twice a month. I don't mind doing those. I get lots of questions. I just had a guy today that reached out and was like, what do you look for in a female? How do you know if she's gravid? And I was just thinking, like, we've touched on that in some of our lives, but I don't think we've actually had a live about, like, what to truly look for and the whole process that a female goes through. So there's definitely other stuff that we still need to touch on. But this is kind of going to be our main focus from here on out. We spent several months of both of us just talking back and forth with each other on Instagram and,
figuring it out, dude.
Tune in. And we kind of decided that we should probably branch out to a platform that could give us the ability to also bring other people in with their knowledge. Because even though Brandon and I know quite a bit about ball pythons, there's a lot of things that we don't know very much about at all. So,
and I need to learn. I need to learn, me personally, because I'll tell you what, if you guys didn't watch Justin's video of him unboxing his black dragon today, number one, you're sucking. Go check that out. Number two, I want a black dragon now. It's like they look anything like ultra melanistic looks so cool. You know that what is it? Pepper, like Brian Barczyk's like salt and pepper.
yes,
The albino and the ultra melanistic, yeah.
guys,
So cool, dude.
And here's another thing: ultra melanistic, all black pigment, not ultra melanistic being albino. It's not albino. It makes something completely black, which is so that's another thing that makes ball pythons confusing, is we call it an ultramel for ultramelanistic because it's an albino, but ultramelanistic actually means all black or not lack of pigment, but over pigmented pretty much, right? Because
it's like lack of your T pigments.
Yep.
I can't remember what T means. I looked. It's a long. If it's okay, so the rule is if the word is 3 syllables or more, it's a big word. Ryanna's Reptiles, you're welcome. But I can't remember what T means. But T in your T negative and T positive albinistic animals is your contrast. That's another thing in ball pythons. We just call them caramel, lavender, then just your regular albino, and rainbow is now the new thing. But that's a new line of albinism. But T negative and T positive are its own thing of albinism. We don't call your caramel the T negative and the lavender the T positive. We call them caramels and lavenders.
Yeah.
And it's just totally different. Hey, what's up, Troy? So that's that. But in every other species, an ultramelanistic animal means it lacks total T pigment, which gives you nothing but black pigment. And when it's that T series of albinism, it lacks all black melanin pigment. And that's another thing is xanthic. And every other species they call it anri.
Yeah.
Anthrism, and xanthism are the same thing. But the only places that I've ever seen xanthic is in blue-tongued skinks and ball pythons. Every other species, they call it anri, which is short for anthrism. So it's crazy, guys. We're trying to bring you this knowledge and just tell you why, not just explain to you like, okay, yeah, fucking xanthic just lacks all yellow colored pigment, but why? Why is that? What happens in the DNA that causes that? I need to get some genetic scientists on here, man. Because I know and I can explain it with a marker board. But to sit here and say it is not going to work. I
Right.
can, but no one's going to know what I'm saying.
Right. That's the
That's right,
plan,
Troy.
Troy. Dropping some knowledge.
Oh, yeah, dude.
There's definitely a lot of awesome people in this community. And we kind of want to make a friendly platform to bring all of them together.
Oh, dude, 100%. Interstellar, you messaging me and messaging me? Fucking man. Oh, you're killing me, Small. No, that's really cool. Sorry, guys, I'm sort of messing around trying to figure out how all this stuff works. Yeah, that's awesome. So if you guys know people, if you're again, hey, here's something that we thought of. This would be cool. And melanism is except black or all black pigmentation. Yes and no. Yes, it is. But you're talking just reptiles. So in pure biology, right? I'm going to drop some awesome like we're
So,
going to cross a line here.
well,
You go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. You say
melanism
it.
is unusual darkening caused by excessive production of melanin, but it does not mean that it will be black.
Yes, correct.
Or, yes, so.
So look, check this out. In biology, when people go and look up their ancestry genetics, it says a lot. So, for example, people who are Hispanic have melanin in their skin, quite a bit of it. Now, it's there for a reason. Because of where they're culturally from in the world, the human skin, because reptiles have skin under their scales, and it acts in the same way. That's why some reptiles require UV and some do not, right? Some is made to absorb more UV, so the more melanic that animal is in its skin pigment, the more typical that is, right? Where the opposite occurs. If you're, for example, a human in your chances are you're from somewhere in the globe in the northern hemisphere, ancestrally, anyway. And this
Right.
is what backwards genetic and biological testing has shown us. For all you people who don't know what I'm saying, just do 23andMe. That's what they call it, right? You spit in the thing and send it off, and it tells you what's in your DNA. But that's the truth, right? So in the army, they teach us, right? If you're African American, it's easier for you to get frostbite, which is true. Why is that? Because the darker pigment in the skin reflects sunlight more. It reflects
Yep.
it away. It doesn't
Yep.
absorb it. Whereas if you're white, it's actually you're made genetically to live in a colder climate that lacks that sunlight because you can absorb it through the clouds. And so that's like 100% pure biological. Oh, piebald. Let's see what Troy said.
So
Once
the liver does not control the pigment of your skin. The reason that your skin turns a color when you have liver issues is because the liver filters all of the bile and bad things in your body, right? All your bile, your
Filters
digestive
it out of the blood.
fluid, all that kind of stuff. It filters everything out of your system. So when your liver isn't filtering correctly, isn't filtering your blood correctly, it changes the color of your blood and therefore changes the color of your skin, right? That's why you get like a yellowish tint, right, when you have liver problems or liver failure.
Jaundice.
Jaundice, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
But it does not control the actual color that you are or an animal is.
No, that's all. Again, that's all in your genetics. I could explain it with a chalkboard or a marker board, but for me to literally just explain to you how to unravel a DNA and how different allele up here affects an allele down there, and how each alleles are in pairs, they call them the sister alleles. It's a lot to take in. Okay, it's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Because there's also, Troy, there's two filtering systems, the kidneys and the liver. So also when it comes to what an animal looks like, or even what a person looks like, because some things are filtered through the kidneys, some things are filtered through the liver. Quick medical tip, guys, if you're on any medication, figure out which one your medication is, filtered through, because if it's filtered through your kidneys, you can drink on that medication and it'll still work. If it's filtered through your liver, can't drink on that medication.
Yep. Thank you, Kenny. Troy, I
have a GED. Fallers Garage, you are from up north, dude.
I'm Native American, whoop whoop, but I already knew that. I didn't have to take a genetics test for that.
Yeah, I'm Mexican and German.
My great grandmother is full blood.
Oh, that's dope. I should 23andMe just to confirm. Feel like we went down the hole again, man. We always go down the hole.
I know.
Yeah, but guys, yeah, that's the purpose of this channel.
Yes, I am so much Native American that I am not allowed to donate blood.
Damn.
I have an unidentifiable blood antigen.
That's cool.
And so, yeah, I donated blood once in high school, and I got a very kindly worded letter that told me that they had to throw it all away and that never to give blood again. And I'm O negative, so they were pissed.
Oh, you're the universal donor.
I'm a universal donor, and they can't do anything with it.
Yeah, I'm A positive, and I cannot give blood ever because of things that have entered my body in foreign countries that the government deems toxic enough to where it can stay in me forever. So my blood is useless.
There you go.
Yeah, super duper sucks. Oh man. Do you guys have any questions? Like any good ones? Like good ones. I want something hard. Ask me something I don't know. Other than like you people's middle names. No one gives a shit about that.
Troy. Woohoo. Yeah, do you give blood, Troy?
Oh, nay, that's good shit, Troy.
Are you the universal donor, but do you give blood? Like some people, right, are like terrified. They just don't want to give. My dad is O negative, and he gave blood like routinely. Was it every 90 days? I think you can donate.
I think it's more well, maybe back then, but now I think it's far more frequently than that.
Well, he had a brain tumor, is on blood thinners now, so he's not allowed to give blood. But yeah, up till that point, he had the sticker on the back of his car, like 25-gallon donor, because he had given blood from like the time he was 17 until he was in his 60s.
That's wild, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Guys, where's the hard questions at? Max, dude, that's awesome. You could save me, but I can't save you again.
Nice, Troy.
Double
Yeah,
red,
I wish
man.
I could. I've always wanted to. Like, I have in my organ donor card and everything. I don't know if they'll ever be able to do anything with it because of the blood issue, but I'm really big on that kind of stuff. But yeah, they can't identify what it is, and so they said nope.
Oh, dude, I want to get a couple quarts of blood off you and just run them through the centrifuge, and
Right?
yeah, one's a. I don't want to. That's not a hard question. It makes me want to insult someone's intelligence.
Oh, stop it,
I'm
Brandon.
sorry, dude. I'm so okay. I can't say shit, guys, because I'll tell you what. I got this female. She dropped eggs for me like just a couple of days ago, and I saw her nesting, and I was like, man, I didn't see no ov, and I know she's been off food for a little bit, but I didn't think she was gonna drop eggs because she just locked 3 weeks ago.
Yep,
And,
it happens. It happens. Yeah, it's strange, but it happens. Well, like I had a girl last year gave me viable clutch, first year female, 6 eggs, laid 12 days after a post ovulation shed.
yeah, dude.
Like I came
I
down
was
and checked on her, and bam, she's sitting on a clutch. I was like, "What the fuck?" Looking
turning
at my
on my
dates, like,
red.
so it happens. But all right, the difference between a build and an ovi, right? So building follicles, right, is the growth of the follicle within the female. They get very big, they get very uncomfortable, they'll lay upside down, they'll lay sideways. I see so many people say like my female's laying on her belly, she must have ovulated. Not necessarily,
Nope.
guys. Actually, a lot of times females will rotate onto their belly to release heat because their bellies are hot. They're laying on their hot spot. They're trying to build follicles. They'll flip over to release the heat from those follicles, so they can continue to grow. So a build, you will normally see a swell, but it usually is over a period of time, right? Like they just seem to get a little bit bigger every day. Ovulation, usually there's a huge swell that goes on. We get what you call the tail suck. They almost look like they've swallowed a football. And that is actually when the follicles officially move down into the oviduct of the female. Before they've been sitting above it, and now they're actually moving down into the oviduct. And once they move down to the oviduct is when they are fertilized, right? But after that, you're done. They either get fertilized during the ovulation or they don't. So they move down, they get fertilized, and that's when they start to develop their actual shell of the egg that we see when it comes out, right? So the difference between a build and an ovi is pretty much the different stages of follicular development in the female. Building is when the follicles are growing, and the ovulation is after they've moved down into the oviduct. They become fertilized during the ovulation, and at that point, your female will give you eggs no matter what, whether they're slugs
Yeah.
or a fertile clutch. If a female ovulates, you will get eggs. Just because a female builds does not mean that you're going to get eggs. Just because you pair a female does not mean that you're going to get eggs. They can choose when they want to go and when they don't. They're not like mammals, dogs, cats, people, right? Where we don't get to choose whether or not,
Yeah.
we have kids or puppies or whatever. If you're
Accidents happen.
yes, right? So, that's the main difference between your build and your ovulation.
And then I want to add, because I just had a talk with a buddy of mine. He says to me, I'm on the phone with him again discussing that hemp, and he says to me, "Man, I ultrasound this female. She has 30 millimeter follicles." I was like, "That's awesome, dude. She's gonna ovulate pretty soon. She's
Mm-hmm.
gonna go." And he's like, "No." I ultrasounded her the next day, and it was 28. And then I says, "Okay, well, listen, follicle growth. Okay, It does start from back to front, and reabsorption starts from front to back. And if a snake gives you slugs or boob eggs or whatever, and you actually watch her lay them all, you will be able most of the time to tell the slugs and boob eggs are a couple of last ones to come out. Because as they go past the sperm passage, there's
Yep.
nothing left in that storage sac. They're not
Yep.
getting fertilized. And if there's some but not enough, they can get fertilized. And if the whole thing isn't fertilized, the portion of the shell can calcify that's not fertilized, and
Yep.
that's your boob egg. Now, with that being said, in this man's situation, and this is still on follicular growth and development and ovulation, the next day, the follicles went down another 10 millimeters from 28 to 18. So the reason why I told you guys about the growth is because I was like, well, listen, you might not be ultrasounding and measuring the same exact follicle. That's why. Okay? They're not all going to be the exact same size.
No,
Right?
and you actually always ultrasound the largest follicle that you can find because
Yes.
they will catch up. If they are going to go, they will catch up. Now, females produce literally hundreds of follicles. If you have ever dissected a snake that was
So
in the
cool.
follicular development stage, there is hundreds of follicles, right? So, with that being said, obviously not all of those follicles get fertilized. Only so many make it down to the oviduct and grow the way they're supposed to. Justin has an awesome video out on follicular development in females when he was ultrasounding, and he actually had the chance to catch the follicles that were growing for that season, and then the follicles along the top or the dorsal that were residual follicles from either the season before or follicles that aren't going to go that season. So just because you see a small follicle and a big follicle, you always go off the biggest follicle.
Yes.
With that being said, I've had females hit 28 follicles and then reabsorb, or 28 millimeters and reabsorb.
Yeah.
It does happen. I mark all my females at 20 millimeters. I put like an OV sticker on their tub. That way I know I should be on the lookout for an OV. Most of my females ovulate anywhere between 28 and 35 millimeters.
Yeah, that sounds
That's
about
where I
right.
find my ovulations. And I've ultrasounded females that I've missed their ovulations before and found 40 millimeter follicles, and I'm like, well, shit, I missed the ovulation at some point, you know.
Yeah.
So, of course, there's other behavior that goes into that, right? Wrapping, tail inside, laying nested, things like that.
So this guy that I was talking to, right? They kept reabsorbing, but she was still locking and started eating again. So this happened to me once, and I only know one other guy it's happened to, and I believe now it's happening to the guy I was just on the phone with. And this is my last thing on follicular development and ovulation. So on each side of the spine, right, are lines of follicles.
Yep.
So I have a female clown who's going to drop eggs for me here in 2 weeks, maybe 3. She oved New Year's, literally the 30th of December, so New Year's Eve. So at the end of this month, I should have eggs. Now, she's been locking with the same boy for 18 months because she grew a line of follicles, which is what I think is happening to my buddy. She reabsorbs them, and she was building, went off food, still locking, goes back down, still locking, starts eating again, builds back up, goes off food, still locking, then finally ovulates. So if you're female, keep throwing the male in there if she's reabsorbing, and keep offering food because sometimes they reabsorb one line and regrow the other to lay.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure that's what's happening to my buddy right now. Do you feel in breeding the ambient room temp is more important than the hot spot? I don't know about more important, but I think it
Yeah.
depends.
I So I kind of agree with David on this one. I keep back heat on all my hatchlings. I don't necessarily haven't really looked into if they grow better or faster. I just don't think they necessarily need a hot spot. I keep my room at about 80 to 82. And then they have the heat tape on the back that reaches between 90 and 92. For my females, I think it's very important to have both. I do know some people that run like an 85-degree room in ambient that do breed, but during breeding season, they bump that up to about 87, and then they give a night drop to about 78, 80 at night. But I think for your females, it's just so important to allow them to have that temperature gradient. Snakes actually need to be cool to develop follicles. This is why they're to grow follicles, right?
And preserve good sperm.
Yes.
And preserve good sperm,
And preserve good sperm, because if sperm gets too hot, it dies. So this cooks it. Yep.
Yeah.
This is why you see your females cool seeking. This is why you see your females bowl wrapping, even sometimes getting into the bowl if they can. So just it's all to keep their body cool while the follicles develop. I know there's also been studies done about the fact that follicle growth produces its own heat.
I don't know.
I don't think
I literally don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's a ton of heat, but I think it's enough that the females feel the need to cool in order to keep that, that temperature gradient within their bodies. It's also why we see them laying in funny positions. They're literally rotating and adjusting the follicles to where they need to be for optimal growth and optimal entry into the oviduct once ovulation hits. As far as the males go, I've kept my males with back heat. I've kept them with just ambient temperature. I don't think it's as important. I personally don't do any form of temp drop or night drop during any point of the season. I do keep really good airflow in my room, so I do get a pretty good variance of temp from the front of my racks to the back of my racks. Exactly. Yeah. Like males. Yep. Don't stay in hot tubs or hot baths and stuff.
Well, that's what I need then, because I'm very anti-children.
Brandon's like, I am putting a hot tub in the middle of my living room.
I will sleep with a heat mat on my my downstairs if need be. Man, I don't like kids. There you go.
But yeah, no, good question, Troy. I think for females, allowing them to have the largest safe temperature gradient that you can give them is very important. Yep.
Yeah, I think this is my first time doing it this year because I'm in Oklahoma right now. But in the room I'm in now, the airflow is really good. I have a couple windows for ventilation. I have a fan. It's just off right now because of where video. It's loud. And I mean,
Same.
I don't drop temps, but see. But in Oklahoma, it gets cold, real cold, dry cold. So ambiently, my room is 80, and in the winter, it just naturally ambiently drops to 78.
Yep.
That's like I don't have to do nothing. Now I just spray more because it's dry.
I don't do like a drop, but if I'm down here cleaning in the summer, I can open the door and it stays, to get some more like fresh air, natural airflow, and it stays about 80 because it's hot here in the summer. But in the winter, I'll do the same thing, and so the ambient of the room doesn't necessarily drop, but I do get like a cold airflow.
Yeah.
I guess I should say a cool airflow, right? That like runs through the room, probably for several hours, several days a week. So, I don't, I've obviously never not done that. So I don't know if it really makes a difference or not. I do notice that, my females will come to the front of their tubs when I'm doing that. Like I'll come down everything, have the door open, be cleaning, and as I'm cleaning, I'm noticing like my females are moving to the front of their tubs while I'm down, allowing that cold air to run through. But yeah, I know my boas really appreciate it.
Oh yeah. So I just keep my hot spots at 90. That's it. Like I don't drop nothing.
Nope,
My humidity is I try to keep it as high as possible because it's dry here. So
I'm the same.
I'm just always spraying. It don't even matter. And
Yep,
hatchlings. No, go ahead.
I have a humidifier that runs. Technically, it's supposed to, if you set it at 65%, it runs constantly, right? And I just in the
Mhm.
winter, I have it on constantly. So my room really stays at about 50 to 55%. I use an oil heater so that way it's not sucking humidity out of the air by using hot air. It's actually,
Same.
it's oil, so it doesn't
That's what
dry
I
out
do.
the air. But in the summer, I like to keep my room I would say between 50 and 60. So ideally, I would like it at about 55. But just with the way my room is and some of my racks are, like I have PVC enclosed hatchling racks, but I have the open sided freedom breeder racks. So if I try to raise the humidity enough to make it 55% in the hatchling tubs, well, then I end up with like really high humidity in my freedom breeder tubs just due to the way that airflow works.
Yeah,
So I
just
would say that I'm between 50 and 60 pretty much all year round. And, I do miss the chip. Like if I notice something is going into shed, I'll mist it a couple times a week just to make sure that it's nice and wet in there. Actually, with the chip, we don't mist. We actually just dump water. There's two reasons I do that. One, that's how your chip actually absorbs the water, is that from being underneath and then it comes up through the chip as it evaporates, right? And the chip actually can maintain the moisture. When you put water just on top of the chip, or really any substrate that you're using,
anything. Yeah.
that's how you get your huge humidity spikes because it immediately heats up and just evaporates. So yeah, you might go from, say you have low humidity, like a 40% humidity, and then you get it up to 75, but it only stays at 75 for
For a
about
little bit.
3 to 5 hours,
That's
and
it.
then you
Yeah.
drop back off, and that's where you can run into some of your respiratory and even mainly respiratory. I know some people claim of getting scale rot from it because the snake is going wet, dry, wet, dry, wet, dry. It can irritate the scale, just kind of like our skin, right? If we
Yep.
get really dry skin, then we put lotion on it, and then immediately go wash our hands with hot water, and it gets really dry again. It almost causes your skin to crack faster, right? Because now you're
I have
going,
great skin.
well,
I
lucky
have beautiful.
you. But
Yes. But
anyway,
yeah,
yeah.
no,
So
that
you
sounds
want to
about
make
right.
sure that you're boosting your humidity, but you're not spiking it to just be really
Yep.
high for a little while and then it drops back off again. Again, kind of like us, if we're breathing in dry air and then we breathe in, go into some place that's humidified, like you have a humidifier in your bedroom, right? So you're sleeping all night and you've got a humidifier, but then you get up and you immediately walk out into that dry and it almost like catches in your throat, right? You're like, oh my gosh, it's so dry in here. So it's kind of the same thing with the ball pythons. If they're going from dry to wet to dry to wet to dry to wet, it's hard for their bodies to keep up with that.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I spray the snake
Yep.
because the humidity is good, but again, and I'm just assuming it's common sense, but I'm going to say it in case no one has figured it out. Snakes have skin. Okay, the super form of the scalus has shown people
Yes.
that if they didn't know. So all a snake is Troy.
No, Troy.
I
I
love
don't put
Troy, man.
lotion on my steaks. I have put aloe on my Asian water monitor because when we got him, he was so dried out and his skin was like cracking away. And he actually still has issues. Like he had some pretty big open spots from just being so dry. And so he still has issues with those parts of his skin getting dried out and cracking. You know, I think it's just kind of damage he'll probably have forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we use like aloe gel and just fucking rub it on there, and you know it works.
Yeah, if it's natural, it's
Yes.
probably best.
Yep.
And the best it is natural, anything natural plus fresh air plus sunshine.
Yep.
That's the best animal medicine you can give an animal.
Dude,
But
guys, look at your lotion, because fucking if it's got alcohol in it, it's drying out your fucking skin. Like so many,
it's gonna age you. It'll make
yes,
you age bad.
so many places, right, sell lotion with stuff in it that will dry out your skin so that you continue to
To
come
use it
back
more.
and buy the lotion. Yeah, yeah. So
Stupid. You know what
yeah.
I use on my skin? I'm not even gonna lie, right? Um, when I go to bed, I let my dogs lick my face. So dog saliva, I'm not even kidding. Dog saliva has been proven to have like natural healing properties in it,
Yep.
and working really well for me because people think I'm a lot younger than I am. They're like, dude, yeah, you look like you're in your, early to mid 20s. I'm like, thanks, man. Old
Yeah.
enough to be
Yep.
your dad, but that's what's up, dude. I've heard,
Yeah.
okay, so I've heard coconut oil is good too.
I
I
use
actually
shea
have.
butter, like true
Yeah, true shea
shea
butter.
butter. True
Yep.
shea butter. So yeah, and I guys like I don't have the clear skin, I know that, but I used to have horrid skin. Like horrible skin when I was younger. So it's definitely improved. But I have this little like mom and pop shop in our local mall. It's called Mama Sonia's, and I want to adopt her as my official grandmother because she is the sweetest woman in the world. She is originally from Africa, and they moved. Her and her husband moved here to open this store, and her family still lives in Africa, and they make by hand all the products that she sells in her store, and then they ship them here, and then she can sell them for a lot higher price than they can over there. So I literally use what's called African black soap. That is literally the name of the product, and then the shea butter, and it's amazing. But no, definitely natural stuff. I mean, I've used that kind of stuff on my animals too. Like I've tried, I mean, I'm a vet tech. I've tried so many different medicines before, right? But definitely natural is best if it can be used. I'm not the kind of person that's like, woo can cure cancer, but it definitely can do a lot more than some of our other products. You're probably allergic.
I can't remember why that is. I know why. Oh man, I learned about that a long time ago. Why people are allergic to certain things. So I learned it for peanuts. I'm not allergic to anything. I just learned it because I
Not
wanted
either.
to.
I'm sorry. I am allergic. I still have them, but I am allergic to volcanic dust because it's what I use to bathe my chinchillas, and I am highly allergic to it.
Damn. I didn't know. I've had chinchillas. I didn't know that shit was volcanic. I just bought the chinchilla dust.
Yep,
Shit.
it's naturally gathered volcanic ash.
Oh, that's pretty dope, man. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty awesome, but
How you're
I am
allergic to it?
highly allergic to it. Like it's hilarious. Like I'll get them out and like they'll get their little bath and I'll pick them up and I'll be holding them and all of a sudden I'm like red and itchy and irritated and swollen and
That's
yeah.
crazy. But yeah, Ballers Garage. I'll have to look that back up, man. I haven't looked at that stuff in a long time. I've been like trying to teach myself quantum physics and a little more advanced. I'm not even kidding. I'm like dead serious. I've been trying to learn quantum physics recently. Protein in urine. Yeah, but why? That's the question. Is why? Why is why does the protein or the urine in the saliva or whatever the chemical
Both
force
dog
the
dander, both right. So both dog dander and saliva contain glycoprotein, which is a substance that triggers the body's defense mechanism in some people.
That's what I wanted to hear. See, guys,
So there you go.
that's the kind of like
There you go.
stuff we're trying to bring to this channel. I don't want that basic
Yep.
bitch answer. I want like the real broken down scientific underlying cause. I want to know why. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the
That's
sky's
not
blue, but
an
why?
allergic reaction. Right.
Oh, Troy. Damn, Troy.
So that's a different reason, Troy. We will get into that a different day. But that is how your body processes food.
Also processed through the liver, again, Troy, which is why alcohol also makes people
There
fat.
you go.
You know what? So tomorrow, I was just thinking about this today because I found myself like losing body fat but gaining muscle, and my weight has been staying within the same 2 pounds. And I was like, you know what? Tomorrow, I'm gonna do nothing but post on my Instagram story my daily schedule because people always ask me how I do all of this and stay in the army. And I think tomorrow, like literally when my alarm goes off at 3:45 a.m. till the moment I go to sleep, I'm just gonna post like, this is when I wake up. This is what I do as soon as I wake up. Like literally, just all day hitting it.
Guys,
Troy, I thought you were a
hard
cookie guy.
work.
Yeah,
Hard work.
Hard, you have no
Constant.
idea. Constant chicken and broccoli, cardio twice a day kind of hard work. It's killing me, Smalls. But that is literally the that's dope, Tracy. That's literally the kind of knowledge we're trying to bring to this channel. Like, I want to also know what defense mechanisms trigger in the body when someone's allergic to something. Like, yeah, the skin swells up, but why? How does that happen? You know, it's just an example because of the question that was just asked. But I want to know stuff like, oh yeah, dude, Troy, my schedule starts at
Well,
03:45
an
and
allergic
goes.
response is an immune response.
Yeah, it's an autoimmune. Yeah, it's an autoimmune response. But there's other type of cells other than white blood cells. So I want to know exactly what happens, how, and why. I don't really want to know right now. To be honest,
No,
I don't
I
really
know.
give a shit. It's
Yeah.
just an example.
Yes. Yes.
All that tells me is if I ever had to kill Baller's Garage, I would inject him with a syringe of dog spit. Okay, that's it.
There we go.
I would never have to ice you, bud. But in the case that I did, trank dart full of dog spit.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, cuddle time. I work 16 to 18 hours a day, and that's work. That's like the army. That's not everything else. Like straight up. That's it. You gotta sacrifice the sleep for the success. 100%. You guys will all see tomorrow. It's gonna suck. But I'm
You
gonna
get
do
really
it.
used to running on 4 to 6 hours of sleep 7 days a week.
Yeah, it's just. And I don't drink caffeine. I don't use caffeine, nicotine, nothing, dude. Like, the only thing that I do is I drink like a protein shake, like protein shakes, and they're even a natural isolate. So it's only for recovery. It's not really for gains. It's so my body doesn't get tired.
Right.
Yeah, I eat 6 times a day. Like, it fucking sucks, dude. But yeah, I'm gonna show tomorrow.
I should say Brandon consumes something 6 times a day because what he eats does not equal food.
No. I drink 2 of those 6 meals. Straight up. Oh, the Dragunov? Yeah, so I do have a couple SVD Dragunovs. I did go through a class called, this is way off topic of this channel. I went through this class called Safafwick, which is, yeah, Special Forces Foreign Automatic Weapons course, Safafwick. So I linked up with some Special Forces weapon sergeants, and I learned the Dishka, SVD, Dragunov, AK-47, AK-74, Frag Hand Grenade, Uzi, AT-4, G3, G36, G36C. I learned a lot of weapons for that deployment, but I did use the SVD for that one, the SVD Dragunov. That is a fearsome bitch, and one of only two weapons to ever actually put a bruise in my shoulder pocket when I shot it. No woman ever taught me so naughty, dude. Oh, I love that fucking gun. That's good stuff. Wheat, soy, bananas. So yeah, those are very common allergies, David. Pollen is a son of a bitch, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
And I've heard of people when I was learning about the peanut allergy, people have overcome it. Like people have slowly
Yep.
subjected themselves to peanut oil in small doses over time, and they have overcame their allergy, which is crazy.
Yep.
I don't even know how that works, but yeah. You guys got any more questions though? Because I want to learn more, man.
Great. Well, and we got a lot of nice interviews lined up for the rest of this month. Next week is David himself from Scales from the Crypt.
Oh,
And
dude.
then we've got Mershon's Morphs on the 17th. So definitely be excited. We appreciate everyone coming in tonight too. This was kind of just to work out all the kinks and see how
Oh
all this
yeah.
is actually gonna look once we were on actually live, and just giving a generic rundown of what
What
we're
we're
planning
doing.
on doing, and any suggestions or
Do we have
constructive
someone?
criticism.
Do we have someone for the 24th yet?
No.
I think I'm gonna have someone for the 24th. If you do you have someone for the 24th?
Not confirmed yet, I should say.
Okay, now confirm because if you don't, I do.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Learn about HOTS and conservation, and Alex is like
And
pretty big
arachnids,
into.
dude. That guy's got some awesome fucking spiders.
Yeah. So Alex is very big on the Venom Life movement, which is something I'm huge on. The Venom saves lives. Because snake venom is used in blood pressure medicine,
Oh, all
um,
kinds of stuff.
insulin, yes, and people don't understand. Like, man, for every snake you kill, that's like someone's.
Yeah.
That could be a diabetic's insulin. Like, what are you
Yep.
doing? So I mean, that dude is talk about knowledge. Alex is. I'm
Well,
really excited to have him
and
on.
not only that, but so like this is kind of something near and dear to me too, because like I mentioned earlier, my dad had a brain tumor, so he's on warfarin. He's been on it for years, which is a horrible blood thinner. If your doctor ever tries to put you on warfarin, don't do it. It's highly addictive, and if you get off it, you die, and it's horrible for your body. But needless to say, they put him on it, so that's what he's on now. They used to make warfarin with rat poison. That was what they
Jesus.
used for the blood thinning agent. And now it is, since they've been doing research on actual snake venom and medicine, it is switched over to be a snake venom, which is a lot less strenuous on the body. Obviously, taking rat poison, which is chemically altered, right? Instead of, I mean, yes, it's snake poison, but it's still a natural occurring chemical.
And you can dilute it
Yes.
because of that.
And you can build up a tolerance. I can't remember
The
the
guy
name.
who,
Yes.
yeah, he injects himself with the venom and then like rides his bike, and
Yep.
he is like way old but looks young, super athletic, and literally milks his snakes and injects himself with pure venom, no dilution at all.
Well, and I've seen the video because he started
Yeah.
out with the dilution, right? Like extremely diluted, and the dude's missing like fingers and shit. Don't get me wrong, like it was not a pretty process to get where he is now, but he is immune to snake venom.
So we should try and get him on.
I should say most types of them, right? Because there are different varieties and different types of venom. Yes.
But we should, number one, we should try to get him on. Number two, he's not the first person to do that. That technique is actually super old and goes back to like the Meiji era when Japan was in civil war and China was invading Japan and stuff. And the samurai and the ninja were actually at war. The ninja would inject themselves with that and other toxins to build up natural immunities to poison. Because if they were ever captured and couldn't kill themselves, they would eventually try to escape. But a lot of the time back then, people would poison them. Ran as reptiles. That sucks that you're a type 2 diabetic, man.
Yeah.
It truly does suck. But yeah, we should try and get that fucking guy on. That would be.
Now we got to figure out who it is. That one guy.
We have Dr. Google
figure
to ask.
It out.
That's a good one. I can't even believe I didn't think of that. That's pretty dope. But yeah, we gotta try and get him. We gotta try and get him on. That's sick. So I think people like Alex will be on, but I'm trying to get, and not that Alex isn't reputable, but I'm trying to get people
with
even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the college backing. And guys, I want to make it very clear, just because you are educated does not mean you're intelligent. They're two separate things. But the larger audience is more likely to take advice from someone with a degree as opposed to someone without one.
Yeah, I need to talk to Alex. I want to know how you go about getting to that business, right? Because there's obviously licensing and training, and they just don't let anyone off the street, right? Say like, oh, I have experience with pot. Let me open a company and start going to people's houses and removing venomous animals. That just doesn't happen that way. So I think it'd be interesting to see, how you go about doing stuff like that, because it's hard to find that information online that is clear.
Yeah,
right?
and it's also state dictated, I know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Clint, we already are. Yeah, Clint's Reptiles is on our list.
Oh yeah, Clint's on there. Brian Gundy is on there already.
Yeah. If we could ever get Kevin McClory from Nerd, that would be like.
Gundy doesn't have a degree, but he's been doing education longer than I've been alive. But Clint has he has a bachelor's in biology and then a master's in something else. He's educated. Yeah. That's a good guy. And he's been doing education for a long time. Emily from Snake Discovery is another one.
We got a lot of people lined up. Yeah, so we're super excited. And we'll definitely be hitting the ball python stuff hard too, just because that's what
for
we
you
do.
Guys.
That's what we do, and that's who a lot of our people are looking, that follow are looking forward to seeing, of course. And but even then, we're gonna try to hit some of the people in the industry and not just about ball pythons. Like, we want to learn about marketing. We want to learn about, the business aspect of things too. So,
and even like you were saying, universal rocks. No one understands, and I didn't even understand this until I decided to keep something other than ball pythons when that skink fell into my damn lap. And I just went out and got I paid for a big, nice, expensive cages.com cage. It's custom built PVC acrylic, double ventilated, triple heated, 2 light fixtures, 1 belly heat on one side with a locking front and sliding glass doors with a substrate divider real high. But I never thought about how much elaborate stuff goes into making an enclosure, and everything is different per species.
Yep.
Like, yes, we would love to get Jay on.
Yep.
Like, I can't remember what interview it was in. I think it was MJ and Brian Barczyk, where Barczyk was like, we now know that ball pythons don't belong in tanks, they belong in tubs. But we also now know that berms and retics thrive in big naturalistic enclosures and not the big ass rack tubs because they're not ball pythons.
Yep.
And how would Universal Rock, what goes into recreating that natural cycle? You know, for even for something like your monitor, or
Yep.
I'm getting the dwarf Cayman. I would
Yeah.
love some shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna have a build video here. It's probably gonna be, to be honest, it's probably gonna be 4 to 6 months before this build is completely done. There's so much complex stuff that goes into this. But we are building an 8x10 room with a 1,500-gallon pond.
Yeah, dude.
For our Asian water monitor, and it's going to be acrylic front pond, acrylic front sliding doors. There's 2 picture windows in the other door and the other walls of the enclosure. We have 10,000 gallons of filtration, a double waterfall. It's going to be natural mangrove trees, fish in the pond as well. And then we're going to have like a big dig box on one side for him. But all of the mechanical stuff that goes into getting this right, because not only do we have to have everything water safe, right, which is hard when you're working with
then you get into aquatics.
Yeah.
It's a whole other thing.
Lights. It's going to be on its own breaker. We have 3 of its own breakers going in so that we can turn anything off. Like literally, if we need to change a light bulb, we are going to be standing in 3 feet of water. So we are going to have to be able to switch the breakers, right?
Yep.
So we can change out everything. And then we're taking what's called Zoopoxy, and we'll actually learn more about this when we have Mike's monitors on with us here next month. But we're actually taking Zoopoxy, which is what they use to make zoo enclosures at many different zoos and private collections even. But it's literally an epoxy, because a lot of people don't know, is concrete is full of dangerous chemicals, and so is most epoxy that can leach out either through heat, right? So when your animal's on its basking spot and it's laying on top of this epoxy, it will absorb chemicals, or through water. So it's completely safe for animals. You can make anything you want out of it. It kind of mix it up like this powder, and then you put a heat treatment in it. And once it heats itself, right, it sets to about pretty much harder than concrete, but is very lightweight. So a lot of people just take like styrofoam board, cover it with this Zoopoxy, texture it, paint it, and it'll look like a log or a rock, but it weighs like less than a pound, right? But it's durable enough that we don't have to worry about, our monitor clawing it up or digging away at the styrofoam. A lot of people try to use like great stuff, right, which is non-toxic. It's great for small geckos and lizards, but when you're talking about monitors, one swipe with a foot and it's gone. So a lot goes into it. It's going to be a lot of time making this enclosure. Everything is going to look 100% natural. It's going to literally look like you walked into a zoo reptile house and there was this huge Asian water monitor cage. So we're super excited about it. It should be really fun to experiment with. But I'd love to get people on that obviously have more experience with it than I do, since I haven't worked with it yet. All I'm saying has been verbatim told to me, right, on how this stuff works. But yeah, I'd love to know what really, goes into those ideas and those builds and coming up with how different things are going to work, as far as, like we said, like the stuff behind the scenes or in the background.
Yeah, and that's stuff that no one talks about because it's like boring,
right,
until you're like me and you're like, all right, well, I want a gator that only gets 5 feet. That could still take my hand off, but I just want to snuggle it anyways. And I want to give it an actual zoo type, realistic, natural space of its own to live in,
Yep.
as bioactive as I can get it as well. So that's and that's like you brought up a good point that I wasn't even thinking about. You get into the fish, you get into the aquatics. There are some things you can buy. For example, saltwater gators. Not that I'm into breeding that, but I really do love crocodilians and as a collective. If you want to keep one in something big and naturalistic, and you want fish in there, now you have to know about saltwater fish, coral.
Yep.
Coral is a guys. If you only understood, the coral market is crazy, right? A
Yep.
quarter. There are pieces of coral that go for $4,000 for a quarter inch.
A fragment. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's so crazy. Baller's Garage, I agree, man.
Rihanna's reptiles. Yeah. Definitely expensive. It's funny because this is a
Hey, what are you doing?
free Asian water monitor that someone gave us at a show because they didn't want it anymore. And I bought a 10-gallon kit of Zoopoxy, and it cost me $750 for the 10-gallon kit. And that's literally just the product itself, right? Like none of the paint, none of the application, none of the time. Our filtration system was about $1,500. I don't think there's a lot of people, and I don't necessarily like to throw numbers out there and try to act like I'm throwing money around, right? But I don't think there's a lot of people who understand. Yeah, you may pay depending, right? You could get a wild caught Asian water monitor for $200. You can buy one from Nerd from $2,000 to $5,000, right, or more.
Yep.
There's a reason that Kevin sells these animals for as much as he does.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Because he knows that you're going to spend a good $3,000 to $5,000 just on the cage, right? On the final product of an adult cage, how much money you're going to need to spend. And you want to make sure that someone, if they can afford the animal, they can afford the maintenance and upkeep, right? And not only that, the money that it takes to feed a monitor. Guys, I pay more. If I was buying rats for my collection, I breed my own, but if I was buying rats for my collection, it would cost me more money to feed my monitor than it would to feed every snake in this room.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
he's only 3 feet long.
I can't even think, like, even if you had a good, like, breeding program for chicken, turkeys, and
Yeah. The amount of time, supplies, land that you would need in order to breed enough of your own food for a monitor. And not only that, they really need a variety of food. Chicks, ducks, quails, eggs, other reptiles, fish, just all kinds of stuff. So yeah,
babies,
it's
human babies. They'll eat human babies.
They probably would.
If you guys don't want your kids, hey, throw them in a giant water monitors. I'm just kidding. I mean,
my boy would just,
but you shouldn't.
Yeah, my boy would just swim up and be like, "How you doing?"
I know. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's super sweet, but
yeah,
there's
that goes back to ball pythons too. Like, if I have someone buying a pet type animal, that $600 or less range, I'm going to ask them a lot of questions. If I have someone coming to me for an animal above $1,000, I'm not going to ask them a lot because they probably know what they're doing if they're going to spend that much money on an animal.
Yep. I mean, I always inquire, right? I always ask, like, is this your first snake? And what do you plan on keeping them in? But
the basics, yeah.
Some people have more money than sense, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think I learned that more from the dog world because as a person who used to be a dog groomer, I see people go out and spend $4,000 to $5,000 on a designer breed dog, and then they don't want to pay $40 to $60 every month to get it groomed.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
they didn't know the expense that it needed, and it was like, paid $5,000 for your dog. Like, pay $40 or $60 a month to get it taken care of. It's not
Oh
it's
yeah.
not difficult.
And speaking of dog, I'll plug her right now, guys. Tiffany McGee. She runs 2 companies, Desert Bloom Exotics, where she breeds her ball pythons, and she keeps us some beautiful Uromastics and stuff. And Liberty Amstaffs is her dog company, where she breeds legitimate American Staffordshire Terriers. And she's an Air Force veteran. So go check her out, Liberty Amstaffs and Desert Bloom Exotics on Instagram. I don't,
I don't
but I do.
either.
I do love them, but I don't. See,
Yeah.
that's what we were saying. We figured out real quick is we want to bring all these people on, but we're like, we don't know that many people. We need to go make some
I
friends.
feel like there's a lot of people in the ball python industry that utilize social media. And then I feel like, and then you have your big people, right? Like Clint, Jay, Brian Barczyk, who really push social media. But
Yeah.
for the most part, a lot of your other reptile breeders and enthusiasts are kind of secretive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really get out a lot. They don't really post a lot. And I think it's easy. Ball pythons are pretty puppy dog. We don't really have to worry about what we post and what we don't post and that kind of stuff. I think it gets more difficult as you get into bigger and more, I don't want to say aggressive because that's not necessarily the right word.
They come out of the, I'm going to use like tegus, right? Or, even your monitors.
Kevin just posted a couple of videos today that was showing like straight out of the egg dragon, hissing, mouth gaping, tail whipping, and then monitors that were like 2 or 3 weeks old that they had been
chill,
completely chill. Like there was no.
Yeah, it's just socialization and stuff, but people don't realize that when an animal is born, that it is a prey animal in the wild. It's not a predator yet. It can be one day, but babies are prey items for adults of other species. So they come out of the eggs instinctively defensive.
Yes. I feel like carpets are a perfect example.
That is a perfect example.
Carpets are assholes till they get about 4 to 5 feet long. Like they're horrible to work with. They constantly bite. I mean, they're just awful. And then
I love them too. It sucks.
They're awesome, yeah. And then they hit like that 4 to 5 feet like magic mark, and most of them just like they become the predator and not the prey. They realize how big. I think that's why like boas and berms and olives has
they're babies
personality.
they're puppies.
And your ball pythons is because they know, they eventually grow out of that prey into a almost apex predator for their area.
That instinct. The instinct shifts.
Yes.
The instinct shifts.
Troy, if you want some Australian water dragons, get a hold of me. I know an amazing guy, and he's not too far from us. It's actually Mike's Monitors. He'll be on here in a few weeks. He has the most gorgeous Mertens I've ever seen in my life. They're super friendly. He also raises a lot of dwarf monitor species, which I'm super excited to talk about because before I went to his place, I didn't even know they existed.
I heard, but I didn't know if they were real.
Like Australian
I never saw them.
Monitors, and guys, they are literally a giant monitor and like a body that's this big, but they're chill, their personalities are cool, like they act just like a giant monitor, but they are like this big.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
Kenny, that's gonna be my pet purchase after the Cayman is a frilled dragon, and I'm gonna get a pair of
I want I want a pair of tail fins.
Oh, that would be nice. That'd be real nice. So my what would I call her? Just my girlfriend. So my girlfriend is not. She's a lizard lady, and I'm a snake guy. So she got the gargs, the leechies, the cresties, the tegus, the monitor. She's gonna love the caiman and all that shit. And I'm just more into snakes. I like all the lizards. I like all that shit. If I could, I would just buy another house to keep everything that I ever wanted, and then live in like an RV or something.
Yep.
But of course it doesn't work like that. Oh, Troy, I didn't know you used to keep caimans. Yeah, I'm heading up to Nerd after the army to pick mine up and then bring it back down to the East Coast where I'm moving. But the Frilled Dragon is going to be a girlfriend purchase, but it's going to be yeah. There's a few of those, some pretty high end Leachianis stuff that she's going to get that's really mine. Black Dragon, it's going to really be mine.
Black Dragon. I want a lace though too, but I really want to.
I like lace.
Yeah, I think I want a Black Dragon next. I really want some Mertens. They are super, super intelligent.
You know what I've been seeing pop up a lot lately that people have been getting is Abronius. I've been seeing Abronius come up left and right. Don't know what happened. I don't know if breeders just exploded with them this year or what, but everyone I know who likes lizards has been getting Abronius. And I'm just like, damn, they're cool. Where the hell did they all come from, dude?
Right.
The fuckers came out of nowhere. Do they make
I feel like
RVs
that happens a lot with a lot of different species, though.
Baller's Garage. I will install it.
Brandon will have one that rotates out of the RV to the top. Like he gets in it in the RV and presses a button and it like goes up and then.
So I could probably make a crow system for those of you, and I'm not a big supporter of the crow, but the crow system is basically it's a machine gun on a tower that you can operate from a screen while you're in a bunker. So if it's getting shot at, you can use it to shoot others, but you're safe. I'm not a big supporter of the crow system because it always seems to jam for some reason, and you got to go out there and do it all yourself anyway. I'm a do-it-yourself kind of guy in that situation anyhow. I don't like to rely on technology and machinery. I'm real old school. Like machine gun theory, old school. Like I'll take a stake, pop a stake in the ground, take a 550 cord string, use my compass to shoot an azimuth, turn it sideways, declinate it, offset that bad boy on the edge of a cliff, put that machine gun in there, traverse it on the T&E mechanism, and pop one shot off the edge of the cliff without even being able to see my target and crack him in the head using a string and a stake and a compass. That's what I do.
There you
go. So sniper perch would be fun, but we'll play. We could play around with it. I do shoot cannons for a profession, so I could always install one of those.
There you go.
Guys, this is not a military channel. Abronias are endangered and have super low numbers in the wild. Yeah, so I know that, Kenny. That's why it blew my mind that all of a sudden, and the people that are getting them are keepers. They're not breeders. Everyone that I've seen that's been getting them has only been getting one. Most of them are keepers. I only know one keeper that ended up getting a pair, and I'm pretty sure she is going to breed them. But they're so, dude. I don't know where they all came from, but they're really fucking cool. They're really.
I feel like that happens with a lot of your different species, though. Is like there's none of them, and then all of a sudden, like the market just skyrockets for them. Yeah, you see it a lot in the colubrid world and the boa world, for that matter. Like localities just go.
Yo.
Nuts.
Speaking of colubrids, I've been talking to a lot of ball python breeders. You 10 people watching this, here's some good info. A lot of the ball python breeders at the shows I've been going to recently, if you guys watch my Instagram, you know I've been traveling a lot and going to a lot of herp shows around the area. They are dabbling in hognose, and they
Yes.
are saying that their hognose are selling better than their balls.
Yep.
Yeah, they're saying that for every 2 hognose they sell 1 ball. A guy that I would like to have on here, he is a wildlife photographer. His name's Dave McGowan. His
Yeah.
photos, oh god, I gotta remind me to send you his Facebook. His photos are truly a work of art.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta send you his stuff.
I know hog noses have taken off. Unfortunately, in Illinois, you have to be a USDA license in
Because
order,
they're rear fanged.
because
Got
they're
some.
semi-venomous. Yep. Um, you have to be USDA licensed. You have to keep 5 years worth of records of every clutch, every snake, every egg, and every person, full name, phone number, and address that you ever sold an animal to in the past 5 years. And at any point, the USDA can ask for any and all of those records. So,
Crazy.
it kind of would be a huge thing in order for us to do hog noses, although I do really enjoy them. And also, they are illegal in Iowa, which we're right on the Illinois-Iowa border. So we do a lot of our business over in Iowa. So it would be a lot of, you
Yeah.
know,
Tom Harbin had some really, he had a, what was it, a Yeti, which is a super Arctic albino. Oh, there's one other gene in it. Oh, it's a super Arctic snow. So
yeah,
the Xanthic albino super Arctic, he had a female for 3 grand, and I was like, oh, I wanted it so bad.
they are really cool. And I mean, I'm totally in it. Like, I think they're beautiful and they're cool, but I'm also totally in it for the cuteness factor. Like, I love their little damn
So
noses,
they
and I
they are
love the way
shovel
they
faced
play dead.
worms. Yeah,
Yes.
they play dead. That smell they excrete is horrid, but it's cute that they play dead. I call
Yes.
them little shovel faced worms. And
Yep.
if you get ones that are very, very reduced in pattern, and I've never heard anyone but me say this, it's probably because I am how I am. But like an albino is very reduced pattern, but it always has that pattern on its face.
Yes.
It always looks like a lucha libre mask. So I always think
Oh
of
yeah.
I always
Yep.
think of
I
little
see it.
luchadors when I always call them little luchadors, man.
They're super cool. I'd love to get them once we get out of, the out of Illinois, hopefully, eventually. Not that I'm against being USDA licensed. I do have one for like my sugar gliders and chinchillas and stuff, but it is extra paperwork and, random inspections and all the fun stuff. So
Oh man, there's a lot of those. Let's see.
that's a
So
hard one.
hold on a second, Baller's Garage. I have been wiring 4 small fans to shelf in my incubator, 2 in the rear corners aimed down, and the front corners aimed up. So
That's a
I've always just put fans facing down because the heat rises, and I'll usually, if I built it, I have a couple
yeah,
fans that push it straight down the middle, and then the heat would rise up the sides. So less fans, less electricity, same effect.
right.
Pairings,
Yep, and
um,
that's why, like, in the hot box incubator, you have the
that's what I
false
use.
back with the
I love it.
Yep, the false back with the fan pulling from the false back, right? So, and then pushing out and down. So as the heat, as the air
It's
goes
literally a
down, the heat
circle.
through the back and it circulates it in one big circle. So super nice. What pairing are you wanting to see eggs from? I'm super excited about the Genetic Stripe Pride project. So I
Yeah.
have a KRG Leopard Phantom Posse Yellow Belly Pied going to an Inchy genetic stripe. So super excited to get Leopard into my genetic stripe. If you guys haven't seen it, look it up because it's awesome. I'm also excited to get Inchy, some more Inchy stuff into my pie, and then obviously everything will be double het. Got some really nice Monarch pairings coming this season.
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna
feel
be
like
different, I think.
I think yeah, I'm in the same boat. I got my most exciting ones that are not recessive. I think is I got a lace yellow belly going to a leopard pastel and a spot nose because I just want to build that lace army up, get some other codons in there, and any females I hit I need to keep because I got to get that white lace later. Um, I'm making mahogany leopard pieds. I really want to see what that looks like. Mm, and everything else is just some head stuff for building blocks. So
Yeah, a lot of my stuff this year is
yeah, it's just
yeah. So
lavender heads for yellow belly, Enchi, red stripe desert ghost heads for lesser Mojave and cypress, and I don't know, just a lot of I got a lot of heads, dude, coming. I
I'm
got a
in the
lot of
same
heads.
boat. I've got a lot of hets coming this season, a lot of double hets, and then I have a lot of like het girls that'll be going next year. So like I was already today this morning, like I'm sitting down here, it's like 5 a.m. and I'm going over what I want to do next season, right? Because like pretty
Same.
much anything that happens this season doesn't really change a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
It's what happened in 2020 as far as males for most likely, right? Because they'll be a year old come 2022. So now you're looking at the females that are going to be breeder side, going to be 3 years old from 3 years ago. The males that are going to be yearlings. The females that you just have now, what you produced this year, what you need to produce next year to
To
go with
to
it.
push.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So guys, it's a constant. I mean,
It, it,
there is no
the
like
gear.
what time of year do you plan pairings? Because
Yeah.
like all the time, it just depends on what year am I planning for.
Yeah, dude. There's no chill. Like the gears don't stop going.
Yep,
It's it's wild. I'm always excited about next year. Like
nice ballers. Yes.
my next year, my monarch hats are gonna come. That's pumped. Oh, there is one more pairing that I forgot about, and it is a male clown het desert ghost to a pastel lesser desert ghost female to hopefully
Yep.
hit some DG het clowns.
Yep.
That kind of just fell into my lap. So
That's an awesome pairing. I'm so
I
excited for
forgot
that one.
I forgot about that one. There was a buddy of mine in the army had
So
got into
you're
some
doing
issues and needed to get it, so I got it.
you're doing that. So how about next year? I throw my DG Mario Spot Nose Orange Dream to that Blade Clown Girl.
Yeah, do that. Do that because the next year after that girl lays, the puzzle's going to her. Because
Yep.
DG puzzles are just too gangster, man. That's a project that I'll probably have 2 racks set aside for in itself. Is DG puzzle 100% DG puzzle? That's yeah, and Monarch puzzle.
That's
Well,
the
I
hardest
also
part I feel like about this, right? Is once you get into double and triple recessives,
yeah, that's a whole other project that
it's
nothing's been
like,
done with.
well, what do you have for your pied project? It's like, well, I have all this, but then I have these 20 other snakes that are also het pied. They just happen to be het this or
And
visual
whatever else.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, that's
Hmm.
another thing. You got to look at it from all angles. Like, just because you have like a hypo het pied or whatever, doesn't mean they have to go to another hypo, right? Like, you can put it to
Yeah,
pied, put
dude.
it to a clown pied. Then you can get pied double het hypo clowns, and keep building from there. So, I it when I'm looking at my pairings, if anything even happens to have a small component of what I'm looking for, I at least put it down on my list so
As a
that when I'm going
possible.
through like looking through stuff, yeah, I'm like, oh, because sometimes you won't think about it. If I got this powerhouse clown male that happens to be het pied, right, or het hypo, whatever, I might not think about him when I'm thinking about my pied projects, or whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
right? Like I'll put him down in my clown stuff, and I completely forget about him when I'm thinking of, well, what can I put to this pied, or what can I put to this, or even codoms is super important. Like this year, I knew I wanted to get Calico into pied. So
Dude,
I have
yeah.
a pastel calico and a firefly calico girl. So when I was doing my pied project pairings, I threw those two girls in my list of stuff to do with pied, even though they have nothing to do with pied, right? They're not het pied, they're not pos het pied,
That's where you're
but
making
I
your head
knew
stuff.
I wanted calico in my pied project. So I went ahead and threw them up there just so when I was walking through what I was going to pair with what, um, I had those as options, and I ended up throwing my Firefly Calico girl. I wanted him to go to the special pied that I got from Troy, but he's doing really well. He's eating really well, but he's still kind of on the small side. So he's showing some interest, but hasn't locked yet. So she had follicles at about 22 millimeters. So I ARG leopard phantom het pot or pied pos yellow, just to make sure I got a visual pied lock on her. It's possible I
Yeah.
missed something with the special pied, but with her being so far along, and that's the value of an incubator, guys. Because with it only being
That's some of the
February,
best money you'll ever spend is a
with
good
it only
incubator.
being February, I would not have started worrying that male hadn't locked yet. Right? Because it's February, still early in the season. And last year, she didn't lay until May. So the fact that she's so far along already,
Yep.
makes me, I'm surprised. I'm happy, but surprised. But yeah, definitely a good thing that I had the ultrasound. I could tell that I really needed to get a pairing on her. And this also comes into the value of having a backup. Like what I really wanted out of that pairing, as awesome as it would have been to have a special fire calico, that was het for pied. What I really wanted was the calico het pied, right? So the fact that I had an extra pied male to make that with, even though it didn't have the special, still important.
And then, guys, you got to think too. Okay, so Kenny, you need some double het DG VPIs. So look, man, I put my DG to my pastel VPI girl. They locked once. She ain't going this year. She's taking the year off. I'm sorry. And next year, there's a GHI het going to her to make pastel GHI Xanthics. So sorry, dude. You got to make your own because I'm probably not going down that project road for a long time because
Right.
I have, like Liz said, the codoms are really important. So I have a lot of codoms that are going to het stuff or going to visuals rather. So I invested in Hurricane. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I bought goddamn Hurricane. You ain't me. Fuck you. How about that? So guess what? My Hurricane's going into my Clown. It's going into my Desert Ghost, and it's going into the Monarch, dude. And it's going into the Xanthic. Like,
oh yeah,
that's it. I got to spread that bad boy, put those heads aside, grow them up, and then I got to repeat that with a lot of my other visuals. Here's the deal, Pickle. When I want something, I want a pinstripe calico pied. Instead of making heads myself, whatever I make profit off my byproduct that year, if I find something on Morph Market, it's too easy to just buy one of those visual to put you ahead another year. It just all depends. Because right now, and I know people always say this, but I'm not buying animals right now for a while because infrastructurally I need to grow. I have the genes, I have the animals, I have the breeders, I have everything. I need more racks, I need more tubs. I do not
Yep.
need more animals. So all
Yep.
my profits are going into infrastructure, and I'm buying nothing but metal racks. I've already sold half of my. All I have PVC left, other than hatchlings, are these 30, 70 series tubs.
Yep.
I have 30 of them right there. That's it, and those are going to get sold pretty soon because I'm moving everything to metal because it's just the moves I'm making right now.
Yep.
That's,
I'm in
that's
the
it.
same boat. I have 3 to 4 powerhouse males that I would like to buy this coming season, but I already knew that I was going to be buying them when I bought the females 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Right? Like I already knew that I was going to need them. So one that I am hoping to get, and if anyone sees one, let me know, is an OD Inchy YB Dreamsicle.
Chase just posted one today.
He posted an Orange Dream Inchy Dreamsicle.
No
No
yellow
yellow
belly.
because I saw it and I'm like, what are
Mm,
the chances you guys are gonna hit an OD Inchy Yellow Belly Dreamsicle this year? He's like, we should probably hit one. He said, but I can almost guarantee you it'll be a holdback because I
yeah,
wanted to fail. And I said, well, if you hit 2, let me know. So
yeah.
I would take an Orange Dream Inchy Dreamsicle or a Yellow Belly Inchy Dreamsicle. The Inchy is really kind of key to me there. I really want that in
Very
my Pied
pretty.
projects, in my Dreamsicle
Especially in
project
lavender.
specifically.
Shit.
Yes. I would like to pick up a Orange Dream Inchy Desert Ghost Male, specifically to make double het Desert Ghost Pieds. Like I have my Mario Spotnose ODDG boy,
But
but
you don't want to put spot nose and pie.
Spotnose
Yeah.
Pieds are all white, and I don't know what Mario does in Pied. Like I have no idea, and it might be phenomenal. And you know what? If it is, cool. I'll have a double het DG Pied Army. I can throw him into stuff, and start working around it. So not a huge
And
deal.
so here's the other thing: you have friends who already have double het DG pied females growing up.
Yep.
That
Yep.
once he gets the Mario from you, if it's a male, it'll take 1 year for him to give
Yep.
you back a double het.
Yep.
He'll be
So
good to go.
super easy. I would like to pick up. I have 2 that I'm kind of like, I don't need them. I would like to pick up a powerhouse pied het hypo male. I have a pastel pied het hypo. Most of my females are hypo het pied. I kind of try to work my projects on the opposite, where like all my females are hypo het pied. Then I get my male that is the opposite visual, opposite het, right? That way everything I make is 100% double het with the possibilities of hitting the double visual. I decided to go that way in hypo specifically because hypo females are a hell of a lot cheaper. Like hypo het pieds are a hell of a lot cheaper than pied het hypo girls. Just the way that Recessive Project ran.
Yeah.
I picked up a badass male from Troy, the Mojave Huffman Hypo Het Pied boy. And super excited to put him to some girls this year. And as awesome as it is to produce all like visual hypos, right? Hypo to hypo, I start playing with that 66% Het Pied stuff. So I would really like to take him to a couple Pied girls and then get a powerhouse Pied Het Hypo male to put to my double Het girls, make some double hets, make some double visuals, and work it from there. And then the other one that I'm thinking about picking up, and really this just depends on who has what, is I have 2 double het Monarch Pied girls that'll be breeder size next season, and I do have a double het Monarch Pied boy, but I would like to pick up a double het male that has a couple other
Yeah, some
codes.
other genes.
Yep. So
Good luck finding that last one.
I
I'm sure it's out there, but ain't no one being like, hey, check this out.
Yeah, I've got a couple really nice connections to potentially get a male, and I'm not even going to be super picky about what's in it. Like, I don't have anything
No, dude, because the
set
project
in
is so
mind.
new. Beggars can't be choosers. Because there's not going to be much in it now.
But the thing is, too, right? Like, the people who are making double het monarch pies that are multi genes are putting the right genes into it.
Yep.
So it's not going to be anything that's like, why would you put that in pied or why would you put that in monarch? You know, so
Yeah,
dude, he's huge.
So he's in an adult tub.
That is crazy. He's grown so quickly.
ASFs, man, I'm telling you. I am telling you, he'll be breeder ready by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, he looks great.
Yeah, guys, this is Monarch. That is just clean.
I'm telling you guys, I love this project. Like, don't sleep on it, cause
No, sleep on it, please. I will be. I will be. Liz, we will be so successful if people sleep on it.
this is true. This is very true. 3 years from now, at the very most, Monarch is going to blow up the industry.
Yep, because I know what you know, and I know who has what. And when they drop it, oh, and you know, one of them just posted a pairing yesterday or the day before, and I was like,
I was just about to call out that pairing. Guys,
yeah, go ahead, call it out.
visualize this. Red stripe, spot nose, yellow belly, Monarch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this
Posset clown.
Posset clown. And the pairing, everyone probably knows what it is now, is a red stripe, spot nose, yellow belly, double het Monarch clown to a visual Monarch female. I mean, the odds of hitting some really nice visual Monarchs is not far. Like, it's not like we're taking het to het and all, you know, all this kind of stuff. And I am dying to see the red stripe Monarch. I'm just dying to see it.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
And then add spot nose. I mean, what spot nose does to black, I can't imagine what it's going to do to the burgundy, because that's what it's going to affect. It's going to affect everything that would have been black, right?
So if that boy was to size, he would have went to the red stripe instead of the lav. But I also saw what Justin and Will did with the lav and the red stripe and was like, I need to make those hets now. And the only red stripe I have in my collection is a single gene breeder female. So I'm working it from scratch at this point. But
I don't have anything red stripe, so.
Oh well, I'll have some hets for lavender albino.
I have a cypress het Monarch boy that'll be breeding. So next year I'll have a firefly calico het Monarch to a cypress het Monarch.
Man,
so I'm excited to see that. I have a pastel Monarch. I guess I should say suspected het pied if you guys haven't heard it. There's been some pieds floating around in Monarch stuff. If that girl proves out to be het this year, I'm pretty positive this male is het. I will be throwing him to so it'll be a pastel pos het Monarch. I'll be throwing him to my blackhead lavender het pied. I'm sorry, pastel Monarch pos het pied to a blackhead lavender het pied.
God damn, that's badass.
You guys haven't seen the Ultramel lavender? Look it up. T positive, T negative.
There's that thing is sick. So, getting off of ball pythons, Liz, you know I've been on this mangrove kick for a few months now. I want to get mangrove so goddamn bad. There is a Kevin McCurley, I believe, has the T negative
Yes.
Boega dendrophilia, and I was just like, I'll sell one of my nuts to be able to buy one of those heads. Like, I'll sell the
Right?
testicle to science to get
Yes.
one of them heads, man. Whatever it takes, I don't care. That thing is that I haven't seen a snake that took my breath away like that since I was 8 years old and I saw the bumblebee the first time.
Yep.
I was just like, God, I couldn't even believe it was real. So if you
Right.
guys haven't seen that, go look up the albino mangrove snake. That thing is, oh God, I want to show it right now, but I don't even. I always see people show pictures of their phone. See how
And it
bright that
doesn't
thing is? I'm gonna just turn down the brightness a little bit.
know where is it at? Where are you looking that up at?
It's on Nerd has it.
On his website or
I'm just gonna Google image it.
I
Oh
I
yeah,
can screen share it.
yeah. Screen share that shit because that shit is just albino.
Is it his website,
Mangrove
Brandon?
snake. Oh yeah, if you just albino mangrove snake, it pops right up.
Okay.
Oh man, guys, 35. It's 35K each. Chump change, baby. That's little boy money. I don't give a damn. I will pay for two of them. God, that thing. I'm also aware that there's only one. If we're still talking about the albino mangrove, that is Buckeye.
Yeah.
I was only aware that there is one ever, and Kevin's just trying to make heads right now. Yeah, I just looked at it. The thing is
There we go.
you about to screen share it? Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
because this is poop. That is poop. Yeah, you need to screen share that shit. Oh God, I can't wait to go to Nerd to just hold it.
God damn.
That
There we
thing
go.
is, oh God, man, that thing is so gangster. Right now, that's my dream snake. Like right now,
There we go.
that's everything I want in life. There's nothing like more important to me than that animal. I love that thing, dude.
It's amazing. Yeah, I remember when Kevin first dropped the picture.
I remember when he dropped his first video with it, and he talked
Right.
about how he had to haggle that price for that snake, and I was just like, man,
It's amazing. They're absolutely incredible. Like talk
you
about
make me
your
want to
white
cry.
being white and your yellows being yellow.
That is true albinism at its finest.
Yes. And so clean. Like the lines of the yellow, like the outlining and the
Yeah,
crispness of yeah. And it's not
that
even like the whole scale. Like
yeah,
it's not scale, it's just truly, yeah, it's amazing.
it's so this would be like for you ball python guys. I believe this would be the equivalent to what lavender albino would be. Like if you ever look at a lavender right out of the egg, it's so white and
Right.
so yellow. It doesn't turn like purple until later.
Yep.
So
And
this would
even
be
then,
like the
like
close.
my blackhead lavender is not
So
purple. Like,
that's the other thing is when you put dark morphs in them, it really keeps them white.
yep.
Because I have a single gene lavender adult male. He's like 6 years old or
Same.
something. I got him from Sean Bradley actually, and he's pretty purple, pretty lavender.
Yes.
But yeah, the dark stuff, and I also have the blackhead double het dream to go, and a mahogany double het dream as well.
I know. I'm so
Oh yeah,
excited for that.
that's the other thing is if I hit a leopard, everything out of that pastel leopard pied to mahogany het pied is going to be Posset Lav.
Nice.
Yeah. So I forgot about that, man. Damn. Just can't
All
shortchange
right,
myself.
guys. What do you think?
Yeah,
We've rambled on for 2 hours now.
Yeah, we need to wrap it up because I got to be up at 3 in the morning, remember?
Yep, there we go. All right, well, thank you guys so much for sticking it out with us and letting us work through all our technical bugs and things like that. Look forward to seeing everyone next week when we have David on, and keep an eye if you're not subscribed, like, share. You can find us on Instagram. That's where I'll be putting all of our announcements for upcoming videos, upcoming interviews, and I'll end up probably posting like not like a recap, but
follow on Instagram. Follow. Follow it. Yellow Fist. That's
Yellow
awesome,
Fist.
dude. Yeah, dude. That's
Thanks,
dope. This is fun.
Thanks, like I said, thanks for bearing with us. If I just could have found the giant pulsating go live button in the corner at 8
next
o'clock.
time we got it. Next time we got it, though.
Well, it flashed real big, like starting, like Premiere started or something. So I assumed that we were on.
Well, you know, we got to learn to do the next time is pop up and leave David in the waiting room, and then bring him in out. That's gonna be the next challenge. God damn it! But yeah, well, okay, yeah, we got.
That's easy. Watch, you're gone.
Still see me.
But you can see you, but.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, there it is. I got you. All right, cool. Then we don't need to look at that. All right, guys.
I got it.
You guys have
I got it. I came in here, guys. I came in here and logged on to both, like logged in through KE on one computer and then logged in through Reptile Revolution on the other, and like just sit and played with shit the whole time.
Just dual wield.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all right. That's too easy. But yeah, let's wrap it up, and we'll see you guys next week, and share this so all your friends see it, because we need people to. We need to hit that 1,000 sub mark so we can start giving money to like conservation and USARK.
Yep, we're gonna do USARK donations and conservation. We'll announce it probably at the beginning of every video where the money is going towards. So pretty much we decided everything's gonna go towards USARK unless we have someone else on that either is a conservationist or is working for another conservation. Or even guys, if you find a conservationist that you want the money to go to, hit us up. Let us know. Like, we'll just announce at the beginning of that video what we're doing, but we're definitely trying to do this for educational purposes.
We need 1,000 subs first, or it's worthless.
Yes, I have 1,000 subscribers before YouTube lets us do it. So,
yeah, so it's YouTube's fault.
But we want to keep bringing awesome content and find a way to support the community as well while we do it. So we really appreciate all the support, and we'll talk to everyone later. Bye.
Right, see you next week. Bye.